hopefully we're live. Hello. Can anyone hear me? Let's get this out of the way. I'm already having technical difficulties. Can't get the Facebook feed to work, although the YouTube one is fantastic. Right. Maybe 2 seconds. Let's see if I can get this Facebook feed working. Let's click on that one. Okay, bear me 2 seconds. That should be working now. Is it working? Right, let's get on with it then. YouTube sounding fine, thank you very much for that. Facebook not looking so good. I'm not getting any messages up. James is watching. Joe, hi Joe. I can't seem to get the YouTube working. Well, apologies, we don't have a guest for tonight's live stream. It's a rather impromptu live stream anyway. Let's get rid of this one over here. There we go. Yeah, it's a rather impromptu live stream tonight. I was supposed to be hosting a UV paintball shoot, a zombie shoot, at my site in Cornwall. Unfortunately, it is absolutely hammering it down with rain and stormy and horrible, so it didn't go ahead for fear of either being blown away or electrocuted or both. So right, let's go over. Martin Clunes, hello mate. You're coming up on my Facebook down here, but you're not coming up on the screen unless anyone else can see it. Let's see if we can get this working. We had issues with this last time. Unfortunately, it just doesn't want to seem to want to play ball. That's not going to do anything. Let's refresh it. There we go. It should automatically connect. If it hasn't, it doesn't. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'll just have to keep an eye on the app down here. Hi Ben, hi Paul, over in the YouTube chat as well. Glad you could join us. Right, we're going to hammer through this fairly quickly, seeing as we don't have a guest tonight. A few topics I posted up on Facebook. A few shout-outs as well. Someone said, can you mention the Skirmish 10-man this weekend, which I believe is a Hyperball event. So I have mentioned that. Mayhem, Ronnie and the guys have got their UV zombie shoot happening at Mayhem, using the shipment field, I believe, with the big UV cannon lights and the UV GI Craze paint. So it'd be interesting to see videos and feedback from that event, see how it went. Awards nominations. Yeah, they're coming in. Thank you very much to everyone who's actually submitted a nomination for the awards. A few categories, not got so many nominations. Game of the Year, not many people have nominated. I think the main ones for Game of the Year at the moment have been Speed Weekend and I think North versus South, and Mayhem. Those are the three that are getting the most votes at the moment. MagFed Game of the Year, we've had a couple nominations, not a huge amount for MagFed Game of the Year. Scenario Game of the Year. Why have I got UK Game and Scenario Game of the Year? I don't know why I've written that down. Sorry, that must have been a typo on my paper here. Anyway, Newcomer Team of the Year. We've had some nominations for that. I'm not going to say who they are, but yeah, there's been several nominations for 2 teams that have come up. Male Player, Female Player and Young Player of the Year. Quite a few nominations for various people for those as well. Tournament, Pro Team of the Year. Again, we've had a fair handful of nominations for probably about 3 different teams that have come up several times in people's nominations. Divisional Team of the Year. Yep, we've got plenty of those coming in. Newcomer Team of the Year. Again, plenty coming in for that one. Rising Star Award, Male Player, Female Player and Young Player all have nominations so far. Woodsball tournament. This is something that we haven't had a massive amount of feedback on. If more people can get in contact and start nominating Woodsball teams. So by Woodsball we mean competition Woodsball. So it'd be Grand Central Classic, Ultimate, UK Woodsball, and all of those kind of things. Southwest Paintball League, etc. So Team of the Year, Newcomer, Rising Star, Male Player, Female Player, and Young Player. So yeah, we've got loads of nominations coming in. Keep them coming in, basically. The Facebook feed still isn't working. That's annoying me. Never mind, we'll just have to ignore it for now. A few special awards that are being issued. We've had a few nominations for those as well. Some hilarious, some not so hilarious. So yeah, we'll be doing that as well. Nominations please in by the 10th of November. So that doesn't give us that long to get all the nominations in. The teams that have been nominated will basically go on not only the number of nominations they have, but any information behind the reason why they're being nominated. So we're not running like a popularity contest via the most votes, but it's the kind of reasons behind why you're nominating those teams. Then we'll be sending the final, maybe top 5, top 3 off to a panel of people who will decide amongst themselves which ones they want to put forward. And then we'll have a shortlist which will be announced, and then people can comment, vote, and do all sorts of things on the shortlist. And yeah, then on the awards night, which will be live streamed, we will open up the little envelopes, and hopefully we'll have some guests and things to be able to read out who's won and things like that. I mean, that's if I can get it all working. Nothing on the Facebook. Right, a few things we need to go through. Oklahoma D-Day plans have been set. We've got a good trip of 18 people travelling from the UK to go and play the very last Oklahoma D-Day event in America. Fantastic event. I've been 3 times myself, quite a few years ago now. I mean, the event started in 1997 with like 130 odd players and grew exponentially throughout the years. I think the peak is probably 2004, around that time, where we were seeing 4,000 players hit the field, and one of the really, really big games. I think it was one of the biggest in the world for paintball. Player numbers did decline over the last few years, and I think that may be one of the reasons why this next event will be the very last Oklahoma D-Day that we see, which is sad, but I think it's going to be a good event because a lot of people are making that final decision. I think D-Day is one of those events that people always put off. Oh, I'll go next year, and they don't. So yeah, if you want to come out, we'd love to see you out there. We'd love to see more Brits out there playing, no matter what faction, whether it's Commonwealth or Resistance or Allied Axis, whatever. Just see boots on the ground and people out there. Martin says UK refs are heading out to the NXL World Cup. Good luck, guys. I hope it's not as wet as the Amsterdam leg. The layout for the NXL, I know Nicky T has just released a walkthrough, so go and check out his walkthrough video over on his YouTube channel and on his Patreon. Yeah, where's the snake gone? That's all I can say. When you look down on the top, it looked a bit like a drone had landed in the middle of the field with the little snake bunkers coming off the wings in the middle. Yeah, very interesting. We'll definitely be interested to see how that plays out. Is it this weekend or the weekend after? I can't remember when World Cup is. But yeah, it'll be absolutely fantastic to get some information coming back from the UK refs when they return. Moving on, Stalingrad Ballswood Skirmish on the 17th of November. Tickets are available for that for £45. I believe they're £48 if you book in November rather than now. So save yourself a couple of quid if you are going to that event. I went last year, absolutely fantastic game. Yeah, really, really good. It's a fairly small site, but they pack in a lot into Ballswood Skirmish. And it's a good fun scenario game. It is normally cold, it is wet, it is Stalingrad, but yeah, good time is had by all. 7th of November is World Cup, so yeah, next couple of weeks, so yeah, look forward to that. So Stalingrad, get down if you're there. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be attending that one as well. A few things for next year. Our eyes are on next year now. That's kind of coming to the end of the season. Reds versus Blues, the PBM game, will be back at Holmbush, hopefully for the same weekend, second weekend in July, I think it was. I better check that. Dates are to be confirmed. We have to go through the site and make sure that the dates don't clash with anything else. Again, we'll have to wait for CPPS dates, NXL dates, so we don't clash with those events as well. So more info on Reds versus Blues, but that will be happening. Operation Zodiac, the island. Some of you may have seen a teaser put out by myself. We are going to visit the island that was used for this game over here. Let's move that over that way if we can see it. So yeah, this was Call of Duty 3 8 years ago now. Basically, an island was hired by Guerrilla Paintball. Absolutely fantastic. It had bunkers in it. It had missile silos. It had it was buildings that are abandoned, forest, beach landing. Obviously, you can see in the video here. And yeah, it's a really good fun event. And it's just a shame they never return now. Now I know Airsoft has been run on the island quite a few times. It is a private island. No one actually kind of lives on it full time, as far as I'm aware. So we've got just complete run of the whole entire island. Excuse me. That's the submarine pen. That's actually not actually on the island. It's on the island opposite. But yeah, it's kind of a launching point or a staging point for a couple of the teams. Tickets for this game will be going on sale within a few months. We don't know how much they're going to be yet. We're in talks. We want to include obviously accommodation for 3 days on the island. It'll also include bottled water to drink. Obviously it's going to be quite hot. Being in Croatia, September's not too bad, not like height of the season, but yeah, water's included. The only thing that's not included is basically paintballs, which will be available as well to pre-order. Now we're going to have, I think I've got another video, if I can find it, of the tunnels as well from the event. So this is just inside the tunnels. It's pretty dark, but you'll be able to see the steps and things leading out in a minute. Hi Gassy, woohoo, a live stream, yes. Not a particularly interesting live stream this week. I don't have any guests, unfortunately, so it's just me doing some housekeeping, basically, keeping you guys up to speed of what's going on. So yeah, the tunnels inside the island, I believe it was built during the Cold War. Obviously, around that area, Yugoslavia, as it was, and Croatia's independence, kind of, yeah. Lots and lots of military installations that have long since been abandoned. So yeah, it's quite an interesting site historically, and obviously to play as well. It gives a great playing area for buildings and little shooting pillboxes and steps and things like that. So yeah. So it's going to be called Operation Zodiac. It's going to be a several part series. It will be limited loader and magfed. So anyone can play, but it'll be restricted to limited loaders. So 50 shot hoppers, no force fed pumps, stick feed, anything like that, or magfed, not a problem at all. But it will be no full on 200 round hoppers, things like that. It's a little bit slower, a little bit more tactical. That's what we're trying to go for anyway. So that's the Operation Zodiac, the island. More details obviously to be announced. The magazine, Paintball magazine, we are working on the next issue already. I know it's the end of the season, but we have had a few events in between. We are actually in talks now with a distributor for the Paintball magazine. This is to go nationally and internationally as well. So we'll be stocked in the likes of WH Smiths across the UK, and we talks about going to the USA, Barnes & Noble, places like that. At the moment, we're getting in pricing for that. Obviously, it's not cheap. Just the distribution alone is several £1,000s, let alone the print costs as well. We will be looking at... there's lots of... What have I got news for you there? Let's close that down. So we have lots of interest in the magazine from several distributors that we sent to. So we've been basically accepted. Yes, it is a print magazine that we want to stock and would be happy to stock. So yeah, I think we're gonna go for it. We're gonna have talks with several of the big companies to see if we can get backing. Obviously, it's fantastic to get the magazine and the sport out on shelves nationally. Big push for the magazine to be quarterly and available in shops. And alongside that, we'll also be ramping up our social media, videos and live streams such as this. So you're going to see a lot more content coming out from the Paintball magazine if we do hit the shelves. Because if we go in for it, we're really going to go in for it. It's going to have to be pretty much full-time, part-time kind of job, basically, because there's a lot of work that goes into producing the magazine, a lot of work that goes into producing, this live stream, not so much work, but the podcasts and things like that, which will be coming back as well. Interesting news I got today, actually, from the podcast side of things is Anchor, the app that we were using, has now been bought out by Spotify. So there'll be a few changes. We're hoping that the podcast will be available on Spotify now as well, seeing as they bought them out. We don't know what's happening with the music side of things, but we may be scrapping that in our podcast anyway. So going forward, more podcasts, magazine in shops. We've just got to talk to the powers that be, the big companies, to back us, to put in advertising. And yeah, then we can get launched in 2020. We could be hitting the shelves. Alongside that, the photography for 2020, we're going to really look at the events that we are actually attending. There's some fantastic photographers already attend a lot of the events who have expressed an interest in covering for us. So, they would report on the event and send back X amount of photos to be featured in the magazine, which is absolutely fantastic. That means that we may not be attending as many events next year, just purely from a financial point of view. It actually costs quite a lot to attend an event, just in fuel and wages and paying people to be there. We don't make a huge amount back, basically, in photography sales. So we're only going to be attending the events that are really financially viable for us going throughout the year. So CPPS, I think, is going to be one of the events that we are attending. How we're going to approach that, how we're going to take on teams and the pricing structure for teams, I've yet to decide. There's a possibility we may be taking on fewer teams in an effort to produce more videos and content and interviews and things like that for the magazine. And just taking photos for maybe the teams that wear our logo on their jerseys and things like that, and doing deals for those guys. So basically, if you're supporting us, we can support you. On that note, if anyone wants to wear the PBM logo on their jersey, fantastic. We can give you a few perks if you do that. We can give you a little shout out in videos. We can do a feature in the magazine. So half a page feature on your team. Any recruitment or anything like that, we can kind of put it in print, put it on our website, and try and help teams that are displaying our logo, basically. So, just quickly, the YouTube hasn't... no questions have come up recently, but anyone there on YouTube? I can't see anyone posting up comments, and the Facebook still isn't working, so that's annoying. Right, so moving on. Patreons. thank you so much for all the Patreons that are pledging at the moment and have $2 to $50 a month to help support the magazine. We do have some Patreon perks coming up very, very soon. We're bringing back the Paintball magazine calendar. So for 2020, we will be having a calendar. We more than likely will be having a tournament calendar and a scenario calendar. And we may have a mix. I'm not sure 100% yet. It depends on demand. Some of the feedback from the last calendar was we'd like to see more or just only tournament and no scenario. And some people said they would like to see scenario and magfed and no tournament. However, if we split them, the chances are we're going to sell fewer calendars of each type, and the actual setup and print is what costs, not the actual number that are printed. So yes, the Patreons will be getting a discount, a hefty discount on the calendar. We also have a bit of a gimmick. We have some paintball orientated Christmas cards as well that will be coming out via Patreon. They'll be limited run. More details on that. I was hoping to have some of the artwork previews for you tonight, but unfortunately it didn't come through. So they should arrive Monday, Tuesday next week. I will post those up on Facebook at some point, or at least a sneak peek of those. Again, Patreons will be getting first access and discount to those as well. So yeah, that's kind of the Patreon side of things. We are going to look at the Patreon for next year and see if we can tweak some of the Patreon levels for free photography, posters and things like that. Trying to make it a little bit more accessible, doing a lot more updates for the Patreons and things for the people that support us as well. Now, what have we got here? YouTube sound fire? Yeah. People are too busy listening? Why are people listening to me? Seems crazy. So yeah, Patreons, thank you guys. We're going to be doing more for you, shout out in videos and things like that coming up. You know who you are, really appreciate it. If you want to help the magazine, literally I think it's $1 a month it starts at. It's like 70p. If everyone that liked our Facebook page gave us 70p a month, we'd be really happy. We'd certainly be able to invest in more equipment and things. So yeah, Gassy says being a PBM Patreon makes you feel warm inside. It does. Then again, so does drinking moonshine. And some of us do both of that as well. So yeah, and neither are particularly good for you, I'm sure. Right. Any other topics? Well, I've kind of hammered through that pretty quickly. Do I want to talk about any of those? Yes, and getting the magazine in the shops. Little bit of talk about that, really. It's a big investment, and it's a big risk. So basically, for those that don't know how a magazine gets in the shops, you've got to go via a distributor. Now, the distributor will, once you've printed your magazines, you will give a certain amount to your distributor, and they will distribute them. So they'll break them down into 5 here, 5 there, 6 there, 6 there, and they'll go off nationwide or internationally. The magazine won't send you blind, it might do. It depends whose picture's in there. So yeah, the distributor basically distributes the magazine. Now that actually costs money. You're looking at several £1,000s for a distributor to take the magazine and send it out. Now, the only downside, the upside is your magazine is available in shops across the country. Now, we're looking at a slightly smaller launch than everywhere because, we don't have £20,000-30,000 to be able to invest. So it's looking at the major WH Smiths and things like that. It probably won't be available in smaller shops, although I'm pretty sure you can go into your local corner shop and order the magazine and they can get it in from the supplier. I'm pretty sure you can do that, but it might not just appear on the shelf. It might not just appear on the shelf in smaller WH Smiths. It might just be the larger ones. We're not too sure yet. I can just encourage you, if it does come out in the shops, to go and buy a copy. again, it's a bit of a negative from us because about half of what it's sold for will come to us, whereas if you buy it through the website, all of it comes to us. So it's a bit of a, we'd like you to buy it through the shops because it means it's popular, but we actually get less money in the long run for that. So, but hopefully having it on the shelves next to other magazines will make people that maybe are interested in paintball but didn't know there was a magazine pick it up and buy it. So yeah, it's a couple of grand. Well, it's more than a couple of grand. It's a minimum of a couple of grand basically just for distribution plus VAT. So we're looking at that. We've still got to get the magazine printed and shipped to the distributors. We're looking at other print companies at the moment as well. We weren't 100% pleased with the last print copy. We are still awaiting our reprints. We've sent all of the magazines back, and I haven't heard anything for a few days. I've been told they're being redone. All I can do is wait. I apologise to anyone who has ordered a magazine over the last 3 weeks and has not received their copy yet. We are waiting for the prints to come in. As soon as they're in, they will be shipped to you. So apologies, they will come. But I'd rather wait and get a decent print magazine than send out the fuzzy, badly cropped copies that we had. So yes, what was talking about? Distribution. So not only have we got to pay for distribution now, but we've still got to pay for the print. Any that are not sold get pulped. So if we send out a couple of thousand, 3,000, 4,000 copies, if they don't sell, they just get destroyed. So worst case scenario is we could spend £4,000 on printing magazines, sending them to the distributor, spending another couple of thousand getting them distributed, nobody buys them, and they all go and get pulped. That's a big risk. Hopefully that won't happen because people will buy the magazine. The people I've spoken to said 40 to 60% get sold. So we've got to look at the pros and cons and weigh up if that's going to basically bring more money back in than what we're doing now. Buy 2 copies, one from the shop, one from the website. That would be ideal if you could do that. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Obviously, we can do subscriptions as well. We will be looking at quarterly editions. I would like to do monthly, but I just at the moment I just don't think it's viable or possible to bring out an 80-page magazine monthly with just myself, Amanda, Pete, Jason, and Jim working on the magazine. Maybe one day, but quarterly I think it is kind of comfortable. It also gives us a deadline to work to, which would be fantastic. The possibility that we may have to look at crowdfunding. What we would like to do is basically have enough money in reserves to be able to print all of the magazines, get it distributed for the year, and have the money there, not be out of pocket. So the idea is to set up a crowdfunding, get money from the big companies in paintball set to one side, so they have their advertising already paid for, and then we'll work out how much it costs, and we'll look at the rest that we need to be able to function, to get it printed, to get it out there, and pay for the time to be working on the magazine, and that will be the crowdfunding goal. Once we've got that in, we know we're comfortable for 4 issues, and we can push ahead and get it done without me going bankrupt. Basically, that's the idea. So it seems a bit cheeky to ask you guys to stump up again after the Kickstarter did happen. Everyone got their 4 issues. I know people are still waiting for sticker sets, and we're still looking at doing those as well. But we did produce the 4 issues, and we did send out the t-shirts and the hoodies and a couple other bits and pieces. So yeah, crowdfunding, rewards, maybe, we're not too sure. Maybe that combined with Patreons and advertising, we can push it forward and get it into the shops. Like I said, nationally and internationally, which is fantastic. Anyone got anything else they want to talk about? It's basically been half an hour live stream just to keep you up to date really with what's going on. No, nothing there. Yeah, that's going to be it from me then. I'm not going to ramble on for too long. I'll give people a few seconds just to catch up. So yeah, just to recap for the guys that joined us late, a few things happening this weekend. Mayhem's UV shoot, skirmish 10-man. We've got World Cup happening in a couple of weeks. UK refs heading out to that. Nominations for the awards. Please get your awards nominations in as soon as possible, so we can get those catalogued and whittle them down to the final 3 or 4 nominations, maybe 3 nominations per category. Oklahoma D-Day, like I said, we're running a trip out there. The guys already paid their deposits and we got flights sorted. So yeah, that's going to be fantastic. Stalingrad, Ballswood skirmish coming up in November. We hope to be there. Reds vs Blues 2020 will be happening. Same place, hopefully the same time of the year as well. Operation Zodiac, private island in Croatia for a limited loader and magfed game. We just talked about distribution for the magazine going forward. Photography for next year. I've still got to service my equipment and buy a new lens. The 7-man that we attended last weekend was fantastic. I don't think we broke even on that event yet. Pictures are up on the Facebook page. We have plenty more pictures there. If any of the teams attended want copies of those and don't mind giving us a few shekels for that, that would be fantastic. Patreon adjustments and perks for 2020 will be coming. We said we were going to pull out some raffle prizes for Patreons. There are 3 tickets for Reds vs Blues coming up on the Patreon. We'll probably announce those at the same time as we do the awards, because we want to give away some prizes. We'll also be giving away some t-shirts and some mugs that we got leftover stock. So, and some headbands. I think we've got some PBM headbands knocking around as well. So if you want in on all that fun stuff to be announced at the awards, we'll pick that live. Jump on the Patreon. Like I said, 70p. It is monthly, but you can cancel at any time. You'll be in the pot to win some goodies. Then obviously we've got the calendar and the Christmas cards and things like that as well that are coming up that you get a discount on. Photography, we talked about that. What events we'll be attending next year. And that's it, really. I don't really have much more to ramble on about. Richard's just popped in, said evening, and I'm going to say good night because I'm off. Yeah. Anyone else? Any business to finish? I'm going to go and cry because my Facebook feed didn't work on this live stream, and I'm going to go and figure out why. There you go. You need a new mug. Yours has got you got to crack down your PBM mug or just a random mug? Finally got around to ordering the Mitsubishi Zero headband and I sold out. Actually, Gassy, send me a message. I might have a Mitsubishi headband in the box. I'll go and have a look after this live stream and I'll message you and let you know if I have a Mitsubishi. That was part of the Dogfighter series. I know the Spitfire one sold out pretty much straight away. I think we got a couple of the American Mustang ones knocking around. The Messerschmitt went quite quickly as well. A couple of Red Baron left. We got the Yak ones, the Russian fighter plane. What else? I think that was it. So yeah, I'll go and have a look in a bit, see if we've got anything in there. You broke your PBM mug. You have to buy another one. Was it poor quality? I hope it wasn't poor quality. No, decent mugs. Yeah, I'll have a look. Headbands and things like that. As you may know, all our headbands are manufactured and printed by Soga, who are based out in Portugal, Spain area. I don't know what's going to happen next year with that. Whether tariffs will be introduced, whether prices on that stuff will go up. Who knows? What with the Brexit things going on, if it goes on, I don't know. So yeah, Soga stuff, hopefully we'll be sorting that out for next year as well. I know we've got a couple of teams on board for using Soga jerseys and bits and pieces. I'm trying to get the rest of the PBM jerseys sorted as well for next year. I know that got put on the back burner this year. Hopefully we'll have some funds to get that done. Yeah, grab another mug when you see us. I try not to send them through the post because they do tend to be a bit fragile. It's really annoying. Where can you get mugs? Good question. You can get mugs at any events we attend. Like I said, we don't always ship them out because they tend to get damaged, and it's like £3.50 to send insured, but the mugs are only like £6 on their own, so it can make it a little bit pricey. However, I can get them sent out from the printers to your door. Where can we get mugs? Good question. Are they available on my website? Did I update that? Let's have a look. I'll try and. Oh no, got my own website wrong. Right. Can we get that? Hang on, bear me 2 seconds. Let's see if we can get this. Let's remove that. Sorry. There we go. Let's. I need to update the website really. There we go. This is the website we have here. Okay, so let's have a look. We go to shop. Do we have mugs on the shop? We have posters that says coming soon. Posters are now available. That's another thing. All the pre-orders came with a copy of this poster. So anyone that did have the pre-order, hopefully you got your poster included. Headbands, that's the Mitsubishi. I will see if we've got any of those in stock. The magazine, and yeah, I don't think we put the mugs on the website, so thank you for pointing that out. We will get those added to the okay, let's pop that down there. We will get those added to the website so you can order the mugs and t-shirts as well. I apologise, I've been a bit lax from that. What we might do towards the end of the year as well is put together some bundles. We do have some mugs left over. It would be nice to bundle that with a t-shirt and a calendar and send those all out to for one price, discounted price to Patreons. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out. I will get the website updated. Right, that's going to be it then, guys. Only half an hour. Didn't really have much to talk about. It is the end of the season, so everything's kind of died down. All I can say is get your awards nominations in as quick as you can. 10th of November, I think we're looking at 10th of November is the deadline, and then we may have the awards. It's going to be the 22nd or the 29th, I would imagine. If the 17th is Stalingrad, yeah, 28th, 29th of November, maybe even going into the 6th of December for the Livestream awards. Once I've got a date for that, I will put up a post on Facebook. Hopefully loads of people can join us. I'm going to try and line up some guests for that as well. The live stream, I'm going to try and aim for once every 2 weeks. Every week is a little bit of a stretch for me. So once every 2 weeks, we'll have a live stream and we'll try and get a guest on or two guests on each week as well. So if anyone wants to put themselves forward to come on and chat, all you need is a decent microphone, a decent webcam, and Skype, and we can get that sorted. So I think that's about it. Unless there's any more. No, everyone's sorted out their mugs. I'll get those added so you can order them. T-shirts, these ones. Squad goals. And just the PBM logo T-shirts are still available. I'm pretty sure the 2XLs and 3XLs have now sold out of most, I believe. Yeah, that's it. So thank you very much for joining us. Sorry it's a short one. Just wanted to check by and say hello. Should have been doing my zombie shoot. We've got another one for next weekend. I've been doing a video as well of setting up the zombie shoot, how we took apart the 98 Custom, sprayed them up into the funky colours you may have seen, the UV reflective colours online, and and we were supposed to be filming the actual shoot with the zombies tonight, but it's a really stormy out there at the moment, so it wouldn't have been fun at all. Okay guys, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. And we will speak to you very soon. Bye.